Yesterday, I got a message from a mom that broke my heart. Her 10-year-old son had just told her something that keeps millions of parents up at night. I hate school. I hate it so much I wish I could disappear. Now here's the hard truth that the mom didn't expect to hear from me. This might have been the best thing that could have happened to her family. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share something that will completely change how you think about your child's education. The most successful people in history often hated traditional schooling. Einstein's teacher said he'd never amount to anything. Richard Branson dropped out at 16. The list goes on. When a child says they hate school, most parents immediately try to fix the child. They try tutoring. They try rewards. They try punishment. But what if hating school isn't a problem to fix, but a signal to listen to? In fact, what if their hatred of school is actually a sign of intelligence? You see, there are 6 specific reasons children hate school. And here's the truth. 5 of them actually indicate high intelligence or creativity. Reason number 1. Your child is under-challenged. Did you know that gifted children often get lower grades than average students? It's because they're not struggling with the material. They're struggling with boredom. They're like a Formula 1 racer being forced to drive at bicycle speed. Reason number 2. Your child is a different type of learner. Think about this. We don't expect all adults to learn the same way. Some read books, others listen to podcasts, some learn by doing. Yet somehow we expect all children to learn the exact same way, at the same pace, in the same room? Reason number 3. Your child is twice exceptional. The most brilliant minds are often labeled as problem students. Again, Einstein struggled to tie his shoes, but could solve calculus problems in his head. Reason number 4. Your child is a deep thinker. School often punishes deep thinking. Yes, when a child asks, why do we need to learn this? They're not being difficult. They're showing sophisticated metacognition. But instead of nurturing this, we often shut it down. Reason number 5. Your child is an innovator. Imagine if Thomas Edison was in today's classroom. Thomas, stop daydreaming. Get back to your worksheet. Innovation often looks like defiance in a traditional setting. Reason number 6. Your child is experiencing a genuine mismatch. Think about the last time you were in an environment that just felt wrong. Maybe it was too loud, too crowded, too fast-paced. Now imagine being forced to stay there for 7 hours a day, 180 days a year. But here's where it gets really interesting. The education system was designed during the Industrial Revolution to create compliant factory workers. But we're not in the industrial age anymore. We're in the age of innovation. And many of the most innovative companies in the world say they don't care about degrees anymore. Google, X, Apple, Tesla, they're all dropping degree requirements. They care about what you can do, not where you learn to do it. Remember that mom I mentioned at the beginning? When she understood her son's situation, she realized her son wasn't the problem. It was the system that wasn't designed for him. There's a revolution happening in education right now. Parents are waking up to a simple truth. Learning doesn't have to happen in a classroom, and you have more options now than ever before. Let me break down the main approaches that are transforming education today. Alternative number 1, flexible schooling. Did you know you're not limited to all in or all out of traditional school? Many families are discovering more flexible approaches like hybrid homeschooling, part-time school, part-time home, umbrella schools that provide oversight while you direct the learning, and independent study programs through public schools. Alternative number 2, learning communities. Forget the image of kids sitting in rows of desks. Modern learning communities look completely different. There's micro schools like Acton Academy, alpha schools, nature schools, forest schools, ballet schools, and hundreds of other diverse forms of learning pods, homeschool co-ops, Waldorf schools, and everything in between. Homeschool co-ops where parents share teaching duties, learning pods where small groups learn together. These typically have 5 to 15 students and emphasize hands-on learning. Alternative number 3, self-paced digital learning. Today's online learning isn't just hitting play on a video and then answering a few multiple choice questions. Modern platforms adapt to how your child learns, such as Khan Academy for core subjects, Duolingo for languages, and OutSchool for interest-based live classes. The key here is using technology as a tool, not a replacement for human connection. Alternative number 4, project-based learning. Instead of separate subjects and separate silos, some of the most innovative programs integrate learning through real projects. For example, building a garden combines science, math, and planning. Creating a podcast integrates research, writing, and tech skills. Running a small business teaches economics, math, and communication. Alternative number 5, customized programs. This is often the most powerful approach, combining elements from all the different methods. Typical week might include core subjects through a structured curriculum, project time for hands-on learning, and community activities for socialization, plus a mentor relationship in an area of your child's interest. The best part is, you don't have to figure this all out at once. Many families start with just one small change, maybe an online math program or a one-day-a-week co-op. Then they adjust based on what works for their child. So, let's think back to that mom at the beginning. After learning about these options, she went with a hybrid approach. 3 months later, something amazing happened. Her son, who once said he wanted to disappear, discovered coding through a game he loved playing. Now he's building his own video games, teaching himself programming, and not because anyone's making him, but because he wants to make his games better. And that brings me to the most important insight of all. Your child does not hate learning, even if they say they do. They just haven't found their way to learn yet. If these insights have opened your eyes to new possibilities, hit that subscribe button. Every week we share more unconventional wisdom about education. From the latest research on how children actually learn, to practical strategies for nurturing your child's unique gifts. Remember, the most successful people in history didn't succeed because they fit in at school. They succeeded because they found their own way to learn. The future belongs not to those who fit in, but to those who stand out. This is Charlie, reporting for Open Ed.